MBAI.
Information about the flood of Pakistan 2022. 1. A third of the country underwater in 2022, Pakistan experienced one of the worst floods in its modern history. The water flow reached unprecedented levels, submerging nearly a third of the country. The flood swept through cities and villages, flooding vital infrastructure. Over 2 million homes were damaged or completely destroyed. Millions of people were left without shelter, food, or clean water. The floods disrupted daily life for millions of Pakistanis. Some areas were ill-prepared for such water volumes, exacerbating the disaster. Satellite images showed Pakistan as a massive lake. 2. Enormous economic losses. The floods caused widespread economic damage, estimated at around $40 billion. Agriculture was severely impacted, with crops and livestock washed away. Business activities halted in many affected areas. Infrastructure like bridges, roads, and schools were heavily damaged. The Pakistani government urgently called for international aid to recover. The disaster affected the national budget and development efforts. Major projects were delayed, hindering economic reforms. Some families were forced to sell their possessions to survive the crisis. 3. Catastrophic impact on the population. Over 33 million people were affected by the floods across Pakistan. More than 1,700 people died, including a large number of children. Around 13,000 people were injured, some severely. Millions were displaced, moving to emergency camps or elevated areas. The health and mental well-being of residents in affected areas deteriorated. Power, communication, and water services were cut off in many regions. Thousands of children and women faced risks of malnutrition and epidemics. Humanitarian response was insufficient to meet all needs. 4. Multiple causes of the disaster. Heavy monsoon rains were the main cause of the floods. However, experts also linked glacial melt after severe heat waves to the disaster. Both factors were connected to climate change and its increasing impact in South Asia. Weak sewage systems contributed to exacerbating the crisis. Poor urban planning and uncontrolled construction worsened the damage. There were inadequate early warning systems to alert the population. International organizations warned of recurring disasters due to environmental neglect. The floods reignited discussions about the importance of climate disaster preparedness. 5. Widespread health crisis. After the floods, Pakistan faced a new health disaster. Sewage and water systems collapsed in many affected areas. Over 5.4 million people were forced to drink contaminated water. Dangerous diseases such as diarrhea, cholera, and dengue fever spread rapidly. Hospitals were overwhelmed and unable to accommodate the wounded. UNICEF and global health organizations warned of epidemic outbreaks. Children were particularly vulnerable due to environmental contamination. The need for medical and food aid became urgent and immediate.
MBAI.